Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, blah, 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 all those people, friends and neighbors. It's time for fun with Bob and Lynn. Yes. Yes, thank you. Yes, it is time. It is time for fun with Bob and Lynn. But what we've actually got going on here is fun with Bob. But don't worry, it's not going to be just me carrying the whole show, it's not going to be that. Lynn will be coming. She'll be here. Ladies and gentlemen, hold on. Wait. You can't sit there. You're going to have to sit. Wow, you look beautiful.
Thank you.
I sure don't. I swear I look like I just crawled out of bed. And you're great.
You could have dressed up. That's why it took me so long. I was dressing up for you.
All right, we have to switch places.
I was in bed working like crazy.
That's what she calls it, right?
In bed.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we're switching places. That's what's happening now. So that you can... I know. You should have just stayed where you were and walked. This could be interesting, folks. She's in a skirt, stepping over wires.
Why was this not...
Now put your feet over this.
Okay.
Yeah, let it go around you.
Nice height.
And then you have to wear these.
Okay.
It's all about proximity. And this is really...
Put this makeup on so fast.
I got to tell you, there's going to be a little bit of a theme to at least the beginning of this.
Okay, now I have to set the background. I'll be right back. I know you're getting really upset with me right now, aren't you? Lynn, it doesn't matter. But it matters to me. Such a woman.
Yeah, you're right. It doesn't matter. But that's okay. It's okay.
No, did that not just put much more light up on you?
No, well, my face got more orange. It added a little color.
Now you can see us.
Actually, I think she's saying, now you can see me. I went to all this trouble to put this makeup and stuff on.
That's true.
You better stink and see me and not have
me
in the dark. Right. Hey, everybody. Bob and Lynn again.
Bob and that
Lynn
woman.
again. And so much to discuss on this program, Lynn. I'm so excited. It's really great to have. But let's tell the folks at home how they can participate in today's program.
Yeah, please do.
You're going to have to launch your Skype app. It could be your desktop app. It could be your mobile phone. It really doesn't matter wherever you are, whoever you are, and whyever you are. You can be a part of the Fun with Bob and Lynn program just by running Skype and looking up the Skype ID Fun with Bob and Lynn. It's just like the name of our show.
It is.
There are no spaces in that, by the way. It's just Fun with Bob and Lynn.
You did start the Spreaker app, too, right? The Spreaker show part of the festivities.
Huh? Yes, of course.
I know, just making sure.
This is only my second rodeo. Wow. Okay, folks, you don't have any idea. Like, I said rodeo, she didn't know, and her thumb was on the yeehaw. That right there.
That's
the magic of Bob and Lynn. That's the magic.
Only reason. If all you did was tune in for the synchronicities.
So I actually want to apologize to my beautiful co-host.
Sorry.
I said I wanted to apologize.
Sorry, go ahead.
For the state of affairs here. You can't see it, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm glad you can't.
But my desktop is quite cluttered. And when we do this show, again, you can't see it, but we're sitting
at... What did I just do when I did that?
I don't know, but stop doing it.
Okay, I will. And a Brookstone catalog.
Oh, way to blow the whole show.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know.
What the heck are you doing?
I'm sorry.
If you had come to
I'm
rehearsal,
being transparent.
but apparently you were a little busy today to come to rehearsal.
Transparent.
So I had to rehearse both of our parts today.
I'm getting fun little characters to show later. Ooh, but you'll have to stay tuned to see.
Yes, but what if you can't see? Do I have something on my...
No.
That's just a shadow.
No, that's just your face.
All right, yeah. Do I have something on my shoulders? Oh, it's your face. Okay. So anyway, yes, you can, if you want to, join us at Fun with Bob and Lynn on Skype, and then we can talk to you. So we did it... So I got the apology thing out of the way. It really is a mess, and I know that it doesn't feel good energetically to me either.
Yep. You know how I am about it.
Oh, yeah, I know. I knew today that Lynn was going to be like, this is going to be torture. And quite frankly, and this is, again, to continue with the transparency, and I hope you don't mind, but without getting into too many details, Lynn has been, we just got back from a weekend mastermind, and as great as those things are, as much as we learn, as much fun as we have, we're out of the office for a few days, and then we come back, and there's a lot of catch-up to do. And Lynn was already busy, so she's had a very busy day and having phone calls that nobody wants to.
And a promotion tomorrow.
Yeah, big promotion tomorrow.
Well, one of the things we can talk about is what one of those phone calls was about. I don't mind being transparent about it, but anyway.
Okay, well, I won't guess which phone call is okay, but the point is,
what?
But
taxes,
you've
the
had,
IRS stuff.
okay,
Anyway.
yeah. Well, anyway, yeah. So and nobody likes those conversations, and of course, Lynn is part of who qualifies in the nobody category.
I was doing the happy dance.
All right, for folks
Yay,
at home
taxes,
who
bring
can't
it.
see that,
Woohoo!
Lynn is playing with a plastic robot that dances.
Oh, that's right. They can't.
They can't. Well.
Oh, they can.
They can.
They go to Google Hangout.
The people who are watching us at funwithbobandlynn.com, which I hope that you all do it every Tuesday night at 7 p.m.
You must go to Fun with Bob and Lynn.
She has a robot in her hand again, and she is talking for the robot. And I will say, of course, last week it was my fault. What were you doing last week again?
I have no idea.
Remember, you couldn't be on the show, and then I forgot to post it.
I had a VIP client.
Right. Lynn was working, and I was supposed to do the show, and then we ended up doing the show like at 10 o'clock that night or something like that.
That's right. This was, I forgot to do the show. We didn't really forget. We just knew we were going to do it later.
So, but no, we're back on track this week, and there's a lot that we could talk about. Well, last night we did my show, although it was also late. We are such unprofessionals. But we were driving back from... In the most delightful way. Hey! Hey! Hey!
Oh.
Hey!
I got the last...
You always do. You always get the last...
I'm giving it to you. There you go.
I'm all out of sorts. I'm sitting on the opposite side as I normally do. And so I don't,
I don't think they really care.
It doesn't. I don't care if they care. I'm just explaining. Actually, so let me. So on the way home, we did my show. We did do it live. The BobDoyleShow.com. And we talked a little bit about the mastermind that we were at this weekend. I also assumed that would be more of a topic of conversation for this show because Lynn was more involved in that.
Yes.
But at the same time, Lynn, and I know, I did get this Brookstone catalog today.
Oh, here we go.
And I just thought it'd be fun if we went through it together right now and told everybody what we needed for Christmas.
Really?
Because
that's going to be our show?
Well, so the other day, Lynn wanted to look through Sky Mall. And, of course, I'm just like everybody else in the world. Nobody buys from Sky Mall, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, well, we could just get ideas. And she had the whole thing doggy-eared all the way through.
Yeah.
I mean, she was like, well, what about this? And some of it was like, you look at it and you go, I'm not buying that. But then I could tell that she really seriously wanted my opinion. I'm like, yeah. So she was trying to get opinions out of me.
Oh, you mean you didn't really like it?
No, you knew that. Remember how, all I'm getting at is that you were trying to get reactions out of me.
I'm really interested in some of the things.
And I was, if I did. My whole point was that there were some of them, and you knew when I looked and was like, what am I supposed to, and you just, I just want your reaction. Okay, so, anyway. But this, Brookstone, while it's not, it's not as crazy as Sky Mall in terms of prices and stuff. And I'm finding stuff in here that we would totally think is absolutely cool.
Did you dog-ear it? Are you going to try to look through it again?
No, well, I mean, I didn't dog-ear it. I just brought it into the room. But there's all sorts of groovy things. Like, look, ladies and gentlemen, here is for those of you who have iPads or whatnot, and you do a lot of face-to-face video conversations with people, and there's that whole I'm not looking in the camera thing, or on webcams. Anyway, this is a little device that allows you to act like appear like you're looking right in the thing. Well, I'd have to read the description, which I can't without putting on my readers. But anyway, just a little interesting technology. And then there's a little robot, double robotics telepresence robot for iPad tablets. And
it looks like it said iPad testicles from far away. It
said, hold on, I have to...
You didn't catch that.
I did, but I was in the middle of a sentence.
It.
Hold on, let's see what this says.
Sentence.
So, place an iPad tablet in this mobile robotic base and control it via another iPad from anywhere in the world. Takes telecommuting to a whole new level.
I have no idea what you're even referring to, and I don't think the audience does, and I'm even looking at it.
All right, well, all right, so this didn't work. But there are really cool things in here. Like... I'll bet some of our audience would be interested in the best pocket-sized big screen TV for your phones, right? The projectors that allows you to project 100-inch images on any flat surface. Well, we wouldn't. Our TV's big enough. We don't really need this.
Okay, I'm so glad we're looking at that because we're going to make sure we look at stuff that we want and need.
Yeah, well, good. We're in agreement. That's good. I was afraid you'd get bored with this and think it was a bad idea,
but
but luckily,
it's a bad idea.
Luckily,
For the
you're
show,
right on
it's
board.
a great idea in life.
No, it's what these people are friends. They're just like they walked into the living room.
That's true.
Speaking of living room,
And when we have friends over, we look through catalogs with them because it's the best thing to do.
I think Lynn's in a little bit of a mood today.
Well, gee, I don't know why.
Hey, just so that people don't think I don't think it's because of me.
It's not. No.
All right, because that sounded like I don't know, like you know that thing you did at lunchtime with the plate.
No. I mean, I was watching myself. You know how you have like, wow, there's one thing after another happening. You're just trying to keep an even keel, stay positive, stay focused on where you want to go. Don't let the tension and overwhelm or whatever bring you down. But it was interesting. Just like, wow, okay, so we can't recall the 2008 audit of taxes and whatever the other taxes are that are going to add up. Okay, something else dealing with, and that's going to cost a lot of money. Okay, got a promotion tomorrow, but I needed much more time to properly help promote.
And it's hot in here on top of everything else.
Well, it's not hot to me, so I'm good on that.
It's because Lynn has a body temperature of 1.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Yeah. But I know. I mean, I'm just saying, it was interesting observing, going, wow, I can feel myself wanting to go, oh, no. But instead just thinking, okay, well, what do we got to do to just keep the faith? Just got to trust that tomorrow will work out. And if it doesn't, something else, because we got plenty on the plate to make happen that we're catching up with, So
I have to say that, yes, Lynn, given everything, she did very well today. But there was more than one occasion when I'm in here. I'm working safe in here. She's in the next room.
Safe in here?
I'm safe
from
here.
me?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you mean?
Mm-hmm. I hear.
Safe from what?
I hear the following, and I'm sure many of you can understand this whole thing and why it was said like this. This is what I hear a couple of times. Representative! Representative!
I totally own that. I think that's my number one hot button.
It is.
My number
right
one hot button are those automated customer service things. And it's okay. I understand why you got to have them. But please give us the option to bypass that. Please don't have zero options.
Yeah, it's rare that you can't get out at all. And I didn't know she was talking to me or the universe when she was like, why? They don't have even one option for reaching a real person? No, I'm safe. My door is closed. We're not like engaged in a conversation, but she's clearly
talking to myself.
She's asking somebody.
The universe.
When I heard the second representative,
because it wasn't hearing when it. Oh gosh!
But everybody else in the marina was.
Yep, that's possible. Yeah.
And she's like saying all these numbers really, really loudly and spaced out, and she's so angry. But then she got through, and then suddenly I heard her just soften completely and be really nice to a woman who was apparently very helpful from what I can understand.
And at first the woman was not going to help me. I was going to
face the wrath of Lynn. We don't need that.
And she was going to charge me $3 per check, and I need 40 check images.
Oh, my God.
And but I did not get mad or riled up because, A, she's just doing her job, But I just, talked to her some more about what was going on, whatever. And without me even asking, she goes, well, let me just see what sorry, that was me hitting the mic. Let me just see what we can, what we can do. And next thing you know.
Old Jed's a millionaire.
Exactly. Everything got handled. Everything got ordered. And then some. She was lovely.
So you didn't have to pay it all?
Nothing.
Nice.
Nothing. And other things that I needed to. So literally done. And this is why I needed a representative. It's not going to be handled through your choices in the automated options.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so go ahead and comment if you too are just irritated when you get confronted with the non-stop automated options.
We have Facebook comments right below this video/live audio player at funwithbobandlynn.com. Feel free to leave your comments there, and we will respond to them when we can, which
Whenever.
will be after the show. So say all the nice things you can, and of course, share this program. We're really going to have to.
How do they share it, Bob?
I think there's Facebook share buttons. I think there's actually social share buttons on this page, and
share the love, share the fun.
Yeah. But I think really truly we got to give them some. We're going to have to come up with some sort of incentive.
Okay. We'll think about that later. Let's not strategize how we're going to do that now.
All right, well,
Mister,
my
let's
7
talk
minutes
about
are
our
clearly
processes.
up. It's now time to hand it over to Lynn.
No, you had your agenda. You got the Brookstone, clearly.
Which was vetoed immediately.
Not immediately.
Okay, 30
5
seconds
in.
Okay.
Look, I did even less time. So, yeah. No, but the mastermind, we do need to talk about it. So, you ever had those days or weeks or months or times in life when you have so much you're up to, you're excited about where things are going, but you just need time? You're going from one thing to the next, great events or a great thing with family or friends, a great project you're working on, but then and ways that you're serving clients and all the different things, and yet you just need time to maybe now do follow through from the event you went to. Now just have some space to just ride or breathe. Now have some space to do the follow through that you need to move the promotion forward. Whatever all the different things are, I'm sure you've been there, whatever that is in your world, right? And instead you just feel like you're going from one thing to the next and you're trying to catch up, but it's building up more and more. And you're going, am I going to have to just nonstop sleep for 3 days to catch up?
That'd be awesome.
No, nonstop. I mean, nonstop not sleep.
Oh, that's
for 3
totally
days.
not awesome. I thought
sorry.
for sure. I thought you meant after everything was done, now I get to sleep for 3 days straight. Oh, that's bliss.
No, I did not mean to not. I meant to, I didn't mean to catch up on sleep. I meant to catch up on all the work that you have to do.
I got it now. So sorry.
Yeah. So yeah, it's an interesting time, because there's so much great stuff, but there needs to be time to process it, and that's just what's going on.
And that's why we're going to Punta Cana again in January.
To have time that we have to have time off and play.
Another reset button. Sometimes you do have to force yourself. That's kind of the whole thing about Punta Cana, is that part of our story about it is that normally we would have never made the time to do it.
I'm looking at them as I talk to them.
Oh, yeah, hi. I forgot you're here. Normally we would not take the time to do that, but we just basically it was about pulling the trigger, and then it was done. And then I was like, oh, well, I guess we're making this happen. And that's sometimes it's just really important for people like us who are in that situation to make that commitment. That's like, we can't possibly do it. Click.
Yep.
And I'm guessing that we probably reach, a lot of people who are like that, achievers and busy and figure they can't possibly take that kind of break. And I guess,
or even money, we invested so much. At least I had invested so much in my business, like tens of thousands of dollars, without saying the exact mark, but let's put it beyond what you can imagine. And so, you're watching your expense rate, but you're going, But then that money ended up being so affordable. We said, we can't say no to this.
Yeah, it was kind of like a no-brainer. Really.
Yeah.
But anywho, that's why we want people to come with us, because we know the benefits of it. But we won't launch into all of that right now.
The reason that's also on our mind, too, is we were going to do it tonight, but because I have my promotion tomorrow, we're going to do it tomorrow. But we're shooting a really beautiful, inspired by the Mastermind, actually, but documentary style sharing about Punta Cana. You have to go tune in and see. It's going to be so cool.
No pressure. I'm editing.
I know, and Bob's going to get to unleash his creativity.com. Anyway, so we're excited to do that. But let's talk about the Mastermind and the fun stuff.
Okay, you go.
Fun people and the fun things, the adventures. But let's do the people first and then the adventures. Or do you want to do the adventures first and then the people?
You can't really have one without the other, can you?
No.
I mean, we had different adventures with different people. Right. So are we going to be talking about people by name, or are we just going to be kind of telling stories around the people?
I haven't planned that. I was just going to let it speak however it is.
Okay.
He was like, let me address my agenda. Hey.
There isn't one. In
the Moment with Bob and Lynn. Welcome to our show. No, and it actually, did you say this part about that this is a high-end mastermind? Meaning like you're in a room full of mavericks in the marketing and personal development world. Like famous leaders who are making millions, who have been around for years, that are the best of the best. And so we're sitting among them going, this is awesome. And they're our friends, most of them. Then there's other ones that became...
That are our enemies. Those people, we'll get them one day.
Right. No, that became our new friends, actually, some really new friends this weekend, too. But it's so amazing to be in a room. And what was great, because Glenn of Mind Movies leads this mastermind, and he was so clear that he wanted to have the integrity of this group. He limited a very small number wanted to make sure they were playing at a certain level so that they'd all be bringing a contribution to the group, but also that they're of integrity, that they're heart-centered, their brilliance, all of that. He even removed a few folks from the group.
But we begged and pleaded and got back in.
Ha, ha, ha. God, you always wait for those zingers.
I'm sorry, it's my role. It's in my contract. God. I can't not do it.
The funny thing is, I take it so seriously, and I know it completely means it as humor, but I feel like you're hearing that and thinking he's serious. And so I have to qualify or clarify that he was completely joking.
I promise no
and
one.
And then, of course, you knew he was completely joking.
Yes.
But I hear it like they're going to take you seriously.
But I will say, I'll say it better.
Okay,
when we first signed up for this
Mastermind,
thank you. That's kind of when we first met a lot of these people and established.
We knew half of them at least. We did. Christy.
I know that we knew a lot of people.
Jennifer.
It's not the people if you just okay. That's she says 10 points off. She interrupted me right there in the middle. 10 points. Who's keeping score? Okay, 10 points. Most of the people that I'll refer to in a minute. I didn't say most. I said a lot of those people we didn't know. Now, of those people, I was referring to the people I'm about to refer to. That this time around, upon meeting them again, we got to spend much more time with a lot of these people and really develop great relationships, as opposed to just like, hey, nice to meet you, and just kind of friendly in the industry, let's talk sometime and all that. This time it was like a reunion, and there was just a different level of connection. And so Lynn and I got to spend, some really great time with some people who, she's yelling at me because I'm not looking at the camera.
You're looking at the microphone. I know we are talking to the microphone through Spreaker, but we're also talking to them.
I don't know. I think we're going to have to give Lynn a lollipop.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Can we? Do we have one?
No.
All right, send your lollipops in now, folks. I'm going to give her some happy candy. Yeah. So anyway, so it was a really. So it feels like. Really like you're going to a big party with friends and learning a ton. So of all the mastermind type things I've ever been to, and I've been to some that I really like, but this is definitely my favorite because of the people, and like Lynn said, the content is crazy good.
My gosh!
And you just learn a lot, and we like to learn.
Yeah, and they do say, we've heard the saying about surrounding yourself with, the most successful people that you can, or the most lovely, wonderful people, whatever levels that you are wanting to be raised up by, and they've got all of that. So being in a room full that's just vibrating with brilliance and heart and fun and contribution and integrity, you're just like, oh my God! So it was really beautiful and wonderful learnings, but wonderful connections.
But then you come home and your head is so filled with, oh my God, I learned so much, and then you want to implement it all, and it feels like it's a little overwhelming.
Yeah, well, I wanted to review all the notes because, of course, I take copious notes. So I've got 4 notepads worth, and a third of my other journal, of which I only had a third left, got filled up. So I wanted to review them, but no time because I won't have time till next week because it's nonstop what's going on. The only reason we're here right now is because our scheduled show at 7 o'clock on Tuesday night. Otherwise, I'd be in the back continuing to work with all the stuff on the plate. Not that you really care, but
or not that I would call attention to her talking about it, because that breaks the flow of the show. So, but what we'll do is we'll keep this short tonight because she is busy, and I want to respect that because there's just because clearly, if her head's somewhere else, it's just
no, it's okay.
Her face is here. It's her beautiful face is here, but I want to make sure.
So, but let's talk about some fun stuff. So, anyway, that was great. We're just sharing about the people, and if any of our folks from that mastermind are listening, we love you and just want to acknowledge you.
What do you mean if? Of course they're all listening. They're all gathered around their radio sets, and they've got like popcorn, and the dog is curled up beside them. Oh,
I know. So we're waiting for our dog to be returned, but I don't want to jump to that yet.
I know you don't.
Because I want to share a little bit more about the fun that we had at the mastermind.
And we did. There were specific things that were fun beyond just being with fun people.
So I
think we talked a little bit about it on my show last night, but that's not where we are right now. But let's do it. Let's talk.
So Saturday night, what's great is that also Glenn, one of his top values is fun, and that his whole mastermind, the way he leads it, his energy, his personality, and even activities he has throughout is all about fun.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All
it's
about
kind of
fun.
required,
Yeah.
or you're out.
Like the last session on Saturday, and I knew people are starting to get late, and people are, they're going to get ready to okay, whenever you're going to go now, break and have the fun for the night. Oh, that was a great last session for everybody because it was like these round tables with, Mike Koenigs and Mike Filsame and Onik and all that. What?
All these people that the audience has no clue.
Oh, well, they might. Some might. These major leaders in that industry of marketing and personal development. So anyway, it's great. We're excited to do it, but it's late too. And if you've ever been at an event all day, it's your head gets filled with information.
Yeah, it can be a little
late.
draining. Yeah.
And so he said, "All right, but it's a requirement. Everybody must get a beer right now." And they had beers in the back for everyone to take to the round tables, And if you didn't drink, because there's plenty of folks there who, are in the 12-step program or just choose not to drink for whatever health reasons or whatever it might be. And that's too cool, too. What are you laughing at me?
Because you said there's plenty of people there who are in the 12-step program. Like, what kind of mastermind are you describing?
Well, no, because that's normal among groups that you have folks that's just where they are. I used to be in a 12-step program, but it was for eating. It was different. But it's a whole other story.
Just about scratched my eye out.
Did I?
Yes.
Sorry, where? I am sorry about that.
Mm-hmm. All right.
But anyway, so then, that's something. And then we went out to a bar, a sushi bar, and they had along the whole bar 23 sake bombs lined up.
If you don't know what a sake bomb is, I didn't either until a couple of weeks ago when we were at Lynn's sister's birthday at another sushi place that played really loud music and was just a big, huge party atmosphere.
Totally.
And sake bombs are, you take a beer glass and 2 chopsticks that kind of sit diagonally on top of them, and then you take a little sake glass, a shot of sake, and balance that on the chopsticks, and then the idea is that at a given time, everybody slams down the table, it makes the chopsticks move, the sake, the glass and all, drop into the beer, and then you slam the beer. That's a sake bomb.
With the sake in it.
With the sake in it, and just try not to drink the cup.
And it's just kind of fun with the boom, I just climb the table, boo.
Yeah.
Sushi bomb, sushi, and then on the third, bomb, and then you hit the table and shoot, boom, drink.
Right.
And everyone, and they had 23 lined up and 23 folks. And if you are in that industry, you're knowing a lot of the faces that you're seeing doing that too. Ring!
But 23 was a record for this establishment. I think the other one's 13 or 12 or something like that.
Yeah.
And so Glenn, of course, is like, "Oh, we're breaking this. We're breaking this
That's
right now."
right.
So everybody has to line up. And I hate sake. And I do not like the beer that they serve at these places. Most like any kind of Asian restaurant has like really light beers, the pilsners and things that I just absolutely will not ever.
Except.
But I was a team player this time.
Yes.
And did it. So it's one thing, like when the sake bombs were at Susie's party, it was just one at a time, a person, maybe 2, I don't know. But 23 slamming on the bar at the same time, it was an event.
It was.
It was a seismic event. It registered on the Richter scale. There were notifications sent out, and I don't know.
Yeah, I have some awesome footage because I was at the end of it and caught the entire line of it. It was really
That's right.
good.
We do. We have video of it.
Really good footage.
Which we should post with all the other video stuff that we've never posted.
If they let us post, so because that is their privacy if they care. I mean, maybe.
No. We have to respect the group is the group. It's you don't talk about the Flight Club. We've been talking about it.
But then the next day. Mm-hmm. What happened, Bob?
Well, that was our fun play day, which involved 2 things from the same company. Another Side Tours. I'm giving them a free plug because they're awesome.
We rocked it.
So it was half the day was a Segway tour, the little wheel things that you stand on and scoot around, and then the other half of that was sort of a restaurant tour. Went to 3 different restaurants and sampled some trays. They had all this food out, and we got to sample all this stuff, and then end it with gelato, which I love. But
before that, the Segway tour.
Yes.
You've got to talk about that. So you know what the Segways are, right? You want to describe?
Well, I think I just did. Just the wheels, you stand up, and you see people. You see Segway tours all the time. 10, 12 people scooting down the sidewalks in major cities or whatever on these rolly things. And I've always looked at them and said, "How does that work? How does it stay up?" They're not. It's not a scooter. People are just it just looked magical to me, like some sort of weird hover.
But here's
thing.
the deal. Can I just describe this part of it, and then you take it and run and share your experience? So we want to over talk about this, but we were a bit irritable as we were walking to Segway tours because we planned to make sure we'd be there early. We had all our ducks in a row. We go to then park by there, and we're there 10 minutes, 15 minutes ahead or so, and it is $48, so we think at least, to park there.
Yeah.
And San Diego's crazy for parking anyway, and we, drove around. We kept just finding these crazy prices, and we were like, okay, what are we going to do? And then we're calling Glenn to figure out where to park instead. Have to park far away and then take an Uber ride. It's just, so, and we kind of got in a bit of an argument or something. I don't know what happened, but we were irritable, right? And just kind of trying to regroup so we can get into fun mode. And I got to say, as soon as Bob got on that Segway and found his groove, it was amazing. His face, he looked like a 4-year-old on Christmas. His face just looked so happy, so full of life, so open, like you were just being doused with love, such freedom. It was unbelievable, the transformation. Like, the Segway is a transformational tool. I mean, and you ended up becoming like a master at it right away. He was like, I've got the footage to prove it right away from the beginning, and even more so later.
Thank you, Len.
So
nice
share
of you
your
to say.
freedom experience.
Well, no, it is. I was just a kid. It was very exhilarating, and it seemed high tech, and it seemed like futuristic. It felt like flying because of the way that it operates. You're not pulling a gas thing or you're pushing a button. It's all just subtle movements in your body that make the thing move and stop and spin, and the whole thing, just slight little movements. And so after you get over that awkward phase of trying to find your body on this thing and realizing that it's really about just letting that all go and trust the thing, because it's self-balancing, and if you try to balance against it, that's when it gets wobbly and moves. So once I got that and could just stay still and then just know that whichever way I lean, I'm going to go that way, then it became like the riding was an extension of if you do that one more time.
Well, you didn't look at them at all.
It's okay. This is how I access it. This is a radio show too, and you watch podcasts that are video, and they don't always look in the camera. That would be silly.
Well, not always, but they at least do at times.
I do at times, and I have proof.
Okay.
So for every second of this video that I look in the camera, you owe me $1. So we're going to watch it later.
I've indicated,
and you're going to say no. Up to this point.
Well, I indicated earlier. Anyway, I'm just teasing you. But so go ahead. I mean, you're talking about but I one of the things about the Segways, I got to say, if you haven't been on one yet, absolutely. I remember hearing so many things about, they're so hard to figure out, and they're great once you get it, but it's so hard. And I think that's because when they first came out, maybe they weren't calibrated or refined to the point that they are now, because we all were saying, this is so much easier than we thought. And it literally became, I love what you were saying, like it's an intention machine. It becomes to where you're sitting and you just kind of feel like, I think I'll go this way. And it just goes. I mean, I'll go here. You can just go like, and it turns right around. So it's effortless. And you're flying with no engine sound, with no effort.
Yes, very quiet. And we're in San Diego, so we're riding by the Padre Stadium and by the water and the shipyard. And it was a beautiful day. The temperature was awesome. Yeah, and you got to see all kinds of humanity out there.
Oh yeah,
but
all kinds of humanity.
But anywhere, that's true anywhere.
Yeah.
So, but we got to talking to the guy who owns the place, Kenneth, whose last name eludes me at the moment because I don't have his card right here. But
of another side.
But apparently he also works. Well, I'm giving him a plug.
I know.
But he also works here in the Santa Monica,
Beverly
LA
Hills area.
So we're gonna find him again and take another tour with him and all that. Now, of course, we're not on those things for 15 minutes before Lynn's trying to figure out how we're going to buy one or two.
Not now.
Right. After the boats she wants us to buy first.
No, I mean, we want
a boat first.
A Segway would be a guilty pleasure.
Right,
although,
not a practical thing like a boat.
But I got to say, where we live, it would be practical.
Yeah, the Segway would.
It really would. I mean, we'd be the geeks on the Segways because Segways aren't accepted as much.
Well,
you know,
they
as
will
a bike.
be once we start riding them around
Right,
with
but-
capes and stuff like that, dressed as superheroes.
But it'd be so perfect to just like, hey, let's go to Fisherman's Village, which is around the other side of Marina Del Rey, but we'd have such fun.
Yeah, just take the bike path, basically.
Oh my gosh!
Can we go on the road though? We probably couldn't go on the road, so
We'd
have to be
have to go
careful
on
around
the sidewalk
sidewalks.
and
And there's a
just-
couple of times when we probably have to get off, and I don't know, but
We'll figure it out. But the point is when we, you know, when we are at a point of making enough and bought the other things to where it's negligible cost. Right now, it would not be a negligible cost, you know. But that's a nice thing to think. Yes, that's going to be a someday purchase. Yeah. So that was really fun, and to see too the footage of everybody, all these other, you know, folks in our mastermind all together. At first, when they were learning, scrambling around. I thought we were going to hit each other.
yeah,
we
there's
just
a little practice
learned.
area. And I'm sure those guys see it all the time. Kenneth was saying that just as we were ending, that they can. It wasn't Kenneth. It was Ricky, not the Segway
Our
tour.
guide.
Ricky was our Segway tour guide. Kenneth was our restaurant tour guide. But the other guy was saying that they can tell within a minute if someone's going to get it or they're not going to get it, and if they're not going to get it, they'll tell them, you can't do this, you're not going to get it. And he says and all those people know for sure, and they don't even want to do it. Like at that point, they're like, good, I don't want to do this. So, but that didn't happen to any of us, obviously.
Oh,
we were
none
all,
of us. None
all on
of the
board. We had a
40
couple
of
of
us.
we had a couple of people have tumbles, you
Yeah.
know, but
minor.
but not us.
And it's not like there's that many people that say they don't want to, but it's that they can tell if you're the kind that's, this isn't going to work. But it's so, I mean, it was so easy. I can't even emphasize that enough. So you really need to try it. It was really, really easy. And I thought too, it's metaphorically how he said, you know, it's really all about confidence. He was saying, if you know, yeah, you may not have done it before, but if you just just follow what they're saying and feel into it, and you got it, you know. And if you can have the confidence to trust that,
Yeah,
You're
because
set.
then that's when you let go, and that's
Yeah.
when you let go and settle down in your body
and enjoy and love it, and yeah.
It really is it's hard to describe that when you settle into it, and it really just becomes an extension of your thoughts. And we all got there. I mean, we all got to the point where it's just and you spin around and go over. It's just freaking indescribable. You just got to try it. And it seems like, well, it's just a ride, right? I mean, why would that be so? You just. I mean, I thought it was like a fluke until I talked to everyone else.
Yeah, no, it was really amazing. So then after that, the restaurant tour, which was nice to be able to be hearing the history of San Diego and tasting some food. But then we went to Glenn's and got to hang out at his
Just
amazing
had a nice little
high-rise. But then what about the end of knighting one of the newest members?
So Glenn has these two swords hanging up on the wall in display
Mega
cases.
swords.
I don't know where they came from or what the story is behind them. We saw them last year.
Pretty
We have
sure
some
it's
pictures.
Japan. Yeah.
We have some pictures of Lynn laying down like a maiden sleeping on this outdoor thing, and with the sword laying beside. Very artistic from last year.
It's a samurai sword.
So this year we were getting ready to end it, except we had a new member, and one of our other friends, Tristan, took the sword off the wall. Glenn was announcing that we got a new member, but then Tristan walks up with a sword, and of course then it became a whole knighting of this new member, and so it was just hilarious. I mean, it was just, and they couldn't come up with the words "I dub thee." That's he was trying,
know.
and I kept yelling it. "I dub thee, I dub thee," and not once did it make it to Glenn's ears or out of his mouth. It was just like, "I pronounce you? No, not pronounce. I dub thee." Have you never seen a film?
Yeah.
You're not pronouncing. You're not marrying the guy, so there's no pronouncing.
Yeah, and then we drove back that night, which is, it's actually really fun to then just drive back in the evening. I had to pace my drinking because, of course, drinking is part of...
It was her turn to drive.
Yep.
I drove there, she drove back, and I just don't like driving at night. I've become my mother.
Uh-oh.
But one of these days, I'm going to get my eyes fixed, or my next thing is maybe I'll go get fitted for contacts.
Sure. I love that.
I know, even though you like my glasses.
I do.
But it's just a pain to keep up with them. That's all.
Okay. He does. I got to say, I don't know, girls, if you feel this way.
Here, I'll put them on right now. Where are they?
He can look so sexy with his glasses on. I don't think that about everybody. But, oh my God, I just think he looks so sexy with his glasses
All right, those of you on the Hangout.
And from the side, too. Show the little side view.
Well, then they
Look
see the
at
length of my nose.
No, they don't. They see the length of your nose whether these are on or not.
They do? That's embarrassing.
Just, he looks so handsome.
Isn't that nice?
I don't know what that is. It's almost like,
Well,
in the Addams Family.
I
when
used
she
to wear these
speaks-
a lot more when we first met. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's an association with
Could be.
the good old days.
Could be.
Before we were so busy.
I got crazy.
All right, well, we're coming out on the other
But what
side
about
of
the
that,
dog?
though.
What about the doggy? You got to talk about the doggy.
You mean...
Our dog.
Oh, our doggy. Okay, I thought you were talking about
Do we
Stanley.
have our phone nearby?
I got right here.
Okay, good.
So when we went to San Diego, we had to put Cody in the care of our dear friend Brandy, who we may have talked about her before. I don't know. But she was kind enough to keep Cody this weekend, and so the deal was she was going to bring him back today, but we just assumed, I think, it was going to be earlier in the day, and we've been without him all day. And it's just so weird to be in this space and not be taking him out every 4 hours or whatever.
You just have it programmed.
Or to be able to make a chicken sandwich without this creature standing up on his hind legs waiting. I mean, I must have looked down for him 100% of the time I was in the kitchen because I'm just expecting him to want something. But
right.
Anyway, so we're waiting for him, and we were thinking that she might show up during the program, and then we could bring him in as part of the show. But I think we should probably let you get back to what you're doing, and Cody isn't here yet, so...
Well, I also want to share an observation. I don't know if you noticed this, but, first of all, it began as we're coming home. Just automatically, we're getting excited because we know when we open the door, there's going to be Cody to greet us.
I know.
But then we realize,
he's not
there's
home.
not going to be a Cody to greet us, but that's fine. So then it's almost like, okay, we got to really just be with each other and not, segment off some of that energy towards the dog, Same thing... in the sleeping and then waking up in the morning and all that.
Not having...
It's really just us. And it's not us and a dog. And we love that. It's like a threesome. But when so to speak. But... Oh, that's so loud. That is so loud.
I had it turned down.
That's still really loud. Oh, my goodness.
Okay, sorry.
Oh, he's playing with the sound effects.
We haven't. You're one to talk, Missy. So, we haven't quite got this all situated. I was thinking that before, as I was cramming all these seats together and going, boy, this is really a hack job to some extent. We've got all these different things running, and it's like a hassle. But I predict within a year or so, we'll have a really nice, set or something that's just easy for us to sit down and do our thing.
I
and it's
like
not
this set. This is the real deal.
I know, but this is kind of uncomfortable and cumbersome.
Well, this part you can do your station.
Well, I can
way
clean
works.
up, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about just the space we have to work with.
Okay, well, you'll figure that out a year from now somehow. Who knows? I don't know.
Okay.
But let's tell you what. We thank you for tuning into the show. We hope that, I guess, just our playful banter, because we basically said nothing this whole show.
Well, that's just about every show. We
What
always
you do
think
about
we
nothing.
always think that, and then we listen to it for some reason. I don't think we're going to listen to it right away this time because you need to get back to
That's
work.
true.
But, and you're probably thinking, because she's already thinking, there wasn't anything funny. I don't want to listen to this right now. All I did was complain about that, and we complain about this, and the complaint show. Complaints are us.
It's
all
the
about,
complaint
It's
show.
a whiny, hiney show.
Complaints, Cody, and a cacophony of other things.
Nice.
Who knows?
And as well as I'm complaining, I got nothing to eat except chicken. There's another C word.
Is there chicken? I need chicken.
Well, I put a lot of it
I
in the
was
freezer
thinking
today.
that. I haven't eaten dinner yet either. I'm thinking, wow, I'm hungry. I'm sure you guys really care about this.
They do. They're going to order us food and whatever we want from Brookstone.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
You know what we want now. We told you. So
Well,
please
we
do order.
Didn't really get a chance, but maybe next time. Maybe next week on the Bob Doyle Show, I'll give you my Christmas list.
Aww.
But you'll have to pay for. Because we're getting closer to Christmas, so it's shopping season. All right,
Get
ladies
your
and
cards and
gentlemen,
letters ready.
thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you next week on Fun with Bob and Lynn.